Following the events of the previous episode, SG-1 goes to a planet to witness the forming of a black hole.
Actually, it's called the accretion disk.
Well, I guess it's easy to understand why the local population would be afraid of something like it. What did you just say?
It's just an astronomical term.
You didn't think the colonel had a telescope on his roof just to look at the neighbors, did you?
Not initially.
They step through the gate and are wondering where SG-7 is, as they should be welcoming them. SG-1 proceeds to move forward and find a decaying body. After equipping protective measures, Colonel O'Neill splits the team into two groups to find the villagers and SG-7. However, it doesn't take long for them to find out that everyone in the village is dead. SG-1 calls for support and Dr. Fraser comes to assist. Dr. Jackson says that the indigenous people warned them that the eclipse would bring an apocalypse, but the SGC didn't believe them. While tagging bodies, they encounter a young child and, with Teok's help, take her out of hiding. Janet and Samantha check up on her and the captain tries to cheer her up. I don't know about you, Captain, but it's pretty much next to impossible for a child to be cheerful in this kind of situation. But hey, at least she tried. Dr. Fraser finds out that the child, portrayed by Katie Stewart, is not infected with the disease at all. The captain explains that someone has to stay behind to film the eclipse, as they don't know if they ever get the chance anytime soon. O'Neill and Teok volunteer to stay behind. Meanwhile, Sam, Daniel, and Janet return to the SGC with the child in hand. During the briefing, Dr. Fraser theorizes that it's their fault that the civilization died, as they might have brought this disease from Earth and it mutated on the other planet. Back with Captain Carter. Oh, okay, they're drawing pictures. MTV next! Back on the planet, O'Neill and Teok have trouble killing the time until the eclipse.
This is fun. Only 8 hours to go. Sweet.
I still do not understand this black hole.
Well, a black hole is this really big thing. It's basically it's a massive hole out there.
I see.
Back on Earth, the child speaks for the first time and introduces herself as Cassandra. She also tells Sam that she has a stabbing pain in the chest. Fraser checks up on her once more and can't figure out what's going on, so Cassandra leaves and collapses a few steps later. They restabilize her and after saving her life, they find a bomb in her chest which wasn't there before. The medical staff tries to operate on her to remove it, but the bomb has a failsafe that stops Cassandra's heart if there's a removal attempt. After sending her to sleep, Samantha stumbles upon Daniel, who tries to tell her that she doesn't have to do it all alone, but Sam says that she wants to do it. Finally, Teok and O'Neill film the eclipse. Back on Earth again, Captain Carter, Dr. Fraser, and Dr. Jackson conduct tests. They have taken microscopic particles from Cassandra's chest bomb and from the Naquita in the Stargate, and they decide to put them together, after which they witness an enormous explosion. Basically, Cassandra being close to the Stargate is bad otherwise. In the meantime, Teok and O'Neill stumble upon a weird object in the sky. A Goa'uld mothership floats in orbit. Teok recognizes the mark of the ship as that of Nerti, a powerful system lord, and that they should leave as soon as possible. Back on Earth, how many times are we switching around for crying out loud? Jackson says that this has to be a setup. Some Goa'uld infected the population with the sickness while leaving only Cassandra alive, who they outfitted with a nuclear booby trap. Essentially, Cassandra is an underage Trojan horse. General Hammond orders SG-1 and SG-4 to return Cassandra to the planet, but when the sun rises, Jack and Teok are already under aerial fire and make a mad dash towards the Stargate. Back on Earth, forget it. Cassandra collapses in front of the Stargate because of the gate's Naquita, At the same time, O'Neill returns. When arguing on what to do with a walking nuclear bomb, the Colonel suggests an old nuke testing site and the General, being pretty much out of options at this point, agrees. SG-1 moves to the facility and the Captain, personally, takes Cassandra 30 floors down the shaft so that she can detonate safely there. Unfortunately, the girl wakes up on the way down, causing tremendous guilt within Carter as she brings her to a special place. After leaving her behind, Sam takes the elevator back up and almost has a mental breakdown, which is when she says, "Screw the rules," and goes back for her. Despite O'Neill's orders to return, she refuses the order and stays with Cassandra as only 1 minute is left until the detonation. Well, long story short, the bomb is biological and needs an Aqua to grow and be activated in the first place. Which means, since this facility is too far away from the gate, the bomb can't blow up. Yup, everything is fine again, apparently. Not counting SG-7 or the planet of people that died, of course. The episode ends as SG-1 works on immigrating Cassandra into Earth so that she can grow up normally in a, I suppose, healthier environment. The Colonel even gives her a dog. And that was the 14th episode of the first season of Stargate SG-1. If it wasn't obvious by now, I really dislike this episode. I hate that high-pitched, emotional cringe music, because to me it feels like a cheap, undeserved attempt at triggering my empathy towards these characters, which they didn't deserve, and the pacing is all over the place. Honestly, I sincerely wish I could have skipped this one, but unfortunately this ends up being relevant way up to season 6, so yeah. Skipping this one ain't gonna happen. I wouldn't have as much of a problem with this episode if we got more lore or more comedy, but I suppose you just sometimes gotta bite the bullet with a TV show like Stargate. With that in mind, I still hope you had an enjoyable time watching, and I may see you next time with another episode of Stargate SG-1. Have a good one.